Welcome to week 4 of the Bettors podcast. For those joining on YouTube, you can see our overall record this year against the spread is 40-29. As always, the 6 bias bettors are coming to you tonight live on YouTube and on Spotify. Please keep giving us a listen. Fans, we love the feedback. Let's jump right into it. One thing we set out to do with the bias bettors was prove that if we focused on teams, we could do better than those media heads that are just betting on everything under the sun, trying to convince you they know what they're talking about. One running game we have this year is the bias bettors going head to head against Colin Cowherd on his Blazing 5 NFL picks. Last week, the bias bettors went 3-2, another winning record, 2 in a row, while Colin Cowherd only went 2-3. As you can see, we are already starting to
suck it hard.
Make a lot of ground on Colin Cowherd, and we until we get a cease and desist letter from the herd, we are never going to back down.
I heard this guy even had a player prop in his Blazing 5. Come on, that's weird.
Cowherd rhymes with another word, and he's starting to get real soft, is all I'm going to say.
What a fucking loser.
That's one.
We got one. Drink up, America.
With that being said, our Blazing 5 NFL picks were great. Overall, it was definitely the coolest week we've had. We're still 11 games above 500 against the spread. We're doing better than most that you find out there. One person in the group who was hot this week, yours truly, PGZ. I only submitted 3 picks. I felt good about all of them. Green Bay, Michigan, and the Philadelphia Eagles all easily covered. Feel really good about a couple lines this week as well. Now, on to who's cold. I didn't need to list the games. I just have the images of the people. All other 5 bias bettors made this slide for different reasons. Let's start with Rams AG. Rams Ag, you didn't have a bad week. You went 2-2. But all of us stayed up late on Saturday night. We watched Boston College. They were a double-digit favorite on the road. You have to speak for why you made that pick, Rams Ag.
I mean, y'all stayed up late. I didn't. I was in bed, secure. They can't hold on to the ball at the 1 yard line. That's a problem. But they'll be back next week. I'm not too worried about it.
Are you worried about their defense at all?
Well, let's just bet the overs. How about that?
Come on.
Well said.
Dudley, I got to jump to you. The 1 week I finally start throwing down some big money on your picks. What happened to Kansas State and Clemson?
So, as I said before, they looked awful all year, but I believed in them from the beginning of the year. And I was going to say, you know what? I believe in them. We're going to figure it out right here. And they do suck. They both suck. So now we know. And it's September. So, hey, we have months to make money off of them. And will I bet money on K-State to cover against UCF? Probably. But at least we know now. So don't follow me on that.
Double G, the only reason I have you on this slide is the Double G TD parlay. Lad McConkey, I had at least a mortgage and a half payment on it, and it just didn't come through.
Well, I'm glad you're not coming to me for the next mortgage. Just keep that in mind, and we'll be back this week.
Lad McConkey let us down. The other 2 wide receivers for the Chargers did catch touchdowns, so you were onto something there.
Rates did drop today, by the way. Just letting you know.
The mortgage rates. Thanks, banker. HJ, you find yourself on here for a different reason. You are a Vikings diehard, and I just, I don't care if you won or lost any of your bets this weekend. What the hell was that on Sunday Night Football from your beloved Vikings?
Man, I don't know, but I was with the Gallagher grandma, and I let a few cuss words out. I don't think she was very happy about that.
You were underground? Oh, no.
Grandma Gunderson, who is an absolute saint. I did get a strongly worded text about Hannah Wright, that next day. So we're still working on that. But
JJ is not it.
Okay, overreactions.
No, he's not.
Love this for the G-Deuce TD parlay. Let's get
hold on. CJ, you got to hear this conspiracy theory. What's your conspiracy theory?
I've been reading on my Twitter account that JJ McCarthy's getting benched, and this is why they're downplaying it with an ankle sprain, but they just don't want to say it that they're benching him. But that's how bad he's playing. His QBR rating is like 53.
Through 2 games. I mean, what coaches have not benched someone and just injured them versus
Did
saying
he
you're
even look
benched?
hurt in the game? I didn't once notice an ankle.
I'm just saying, what coach has ever said, you know what, we're going to fake an injury and not let the public lead on to it?
He just had a baby. He's stressed. They're really trying to just coddle this kid.
Dudley, what do you
If
got?
we're benching him for Carson Wentz, we're screwed. I almost swore there.
Is it a bit of a red flag that he's 1 for 8 quarters on being any good, and he's only played 8 quarters in his life, that he doesn't know exactly what defense he's playing against because they're stealing signs? This is Christian Ponder 2.0. Let's just deal with it and move on. With an uglier wife, that's all
We're
this is.
we're losing the Vikings listeners as we speak.
The Vikings listener as we speak.
HJ, if your conspiracy is correct, you have to be bad to get benched. You have to be absolutely horrendous. Both arms are broken to get benched for Carson Wentz. That's all I'm getting. Double G, you watched week 17 of the Chiefs last week. I bet on the Chiefs week 17 last week. I thought it was going to be Carson Wentz coming out party. I thought he was going to have a good game and get signed by some team for this year. He played so bad that the only team that was willing to sign him was the Minnesota Vikings in typical Minnesota Vikings fashion.
You do know the Chiefs intentionally tried to lose that game, so someone didn't get a seed that they wanted, correct?
Well, as soon as you throw Carson Wentz out there, you're obviously intentionally trying to lose, especially in London.
Correct. You are correct. Yeah, it was actually because if the Broncos won, they had a chance to make in the playoffs, and the Chiefs didn't want that.
I don't want.
Excuse me.
Tired
it was the
slander.
Bengals.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He looked. I'll say JJ looked about what Arch Manning looked like.
And then the last person on the Who's Cold slide, Bias Better CJ, didn't have a bad week betting. Nothing really going wrong with his picks. Keep tailing him if you feel like it. I've got him on here for one reason and one reason only. The very foundation of the Bias Bettors is you have 7 teams and you stick to them. When Bias Better CJ was submitting a pick this week, he submitted on a game where one of his teams is not involved. The guy is absolutely clueless. He doesn't have his heart into it. We got to get him. We got to get him going again, so I threw him on the Who's Cold slide.
I see lines, and I just bet them. I can't help it.
All right, well, we're all looking to turn it around this week. I'm hoping that the Double G TD parlay hits. Moving on to a new segment. This is This Dog is Barking segment. Brand new segment, not something we're going to track on Twitter. This is for our podcast following only. Each week, we are going to pick a dog that's barking that we see barking. Now, the rules to this game are pretty simple. You just got to be a dog. Just like Dave Bennett said, the Coastal Carolina coach, be a dog. In reality, we are going to keep points to this. Here's what I'm thinking, Dudley. You got to pick a 5-point plus underdog. So it can't be a close game. It's got to be someone that's at least a 5-point dog. If it's a 1-score affair, so between 5 and 8 points, and the team actually wins the game, you get an extra point. If it's 8.5 or over, it's technically a 2-score line. You get a third point. So 1 point if your team covers, a bonus point if your team was a 5 to 8 point dog and they win outright, and then a third bonus point if your team was an 8.5 point dog or worse. At the end of this thing, we're going to keep standings all year long. Ruzek Financial has a little money on the line. Whoever has the most points at the end of this thing, at the end of the season-long race, Ruzek Financial is going to bet that amount of money on an underdog in either a playoff game in the NFL or a bowl game in college football and give the winner, the actual winnings, if that dog covers. So
Does the winner get to pick the dog in the playoffs that he bets on?
they do.
Okay.
And we're going to put that live on our podcast. We're going to have Ruzek Financial on here, one of the best financial guys I know in the Des Moines area.
Well, it does have to go to diabetes awareness, so we got to keep that in mind.
The
But
Wilford Brimley Association.
And also the good news is the only one that understands the score system just explained is Ruzek. So good for him.
Ruzek and I came up with this over a few cocktails this weekend. So Ruzek Financial, they're backing us on this. You can see our picks on the screen there for our podcast listeners. I'll go through most of them. We're not going to break this down because it doesn't necessarily have to do with the teams that we're focusing on. PG likes Carolina at Atlanta to cover and possibly win. HJ likes the Giants to cover in Kansas City against the Chiefs. CJ goes to college. He finds Tulane at Ole Miss. He likes Tulane to cover.
I like a money line as well.
Double G, who is the underdog in that game? Is Toledo or I'm guessing Western Michigan?
Yeah, we got the home dog, Western Michigan, plus 14.5 against Toledo.
Love that. And then Dudley, who has just been a Mizzou hater this entire year, has South Carolina to cover at Mizzou. Now, we are missing one pick. So, bias better Ramzag, what do you got for me?
I was going to take the bye versus Kansas State plus 5.5, but that's what I saw on Twitter, so I didn't know. But I mean, Kansas State may be the worst football team ever.
We all did a group bet on Friday night. We were following Kansas State hard. Arizona was trying their best to give that game away, and Kansas State still could not win it, which takes us into our matchup of the week. Matchup of the week always has to be between two bias bettors. This week it is bias better CJ against bias better PGZ. Bias better CJ has the Bears at home. They're taking on the Dallas Cowboys. This line doesn't make any sense. And I'd love to talk more about the Chicago Bears for our faithful follower, Monty Deuce. So CJ, the Bears are, they were getting one when I made this slide a few hours ago. This morning, they were a favorite by one. So, it's basically a pick'em game at this point. It's in Chicago. What do you see happening on Sunday between the Cowboys and Bears?
First off, shout out Brooks Montang. I will not let these guys slander the Bears. They do suck, but I'm not going to let them slander it constantly.
Can't forget Lovey Dovey.
Loves is a Bear fan?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Shout out Loves too. I got Dallas. I just looked at the live line. Dallas is 1.5 point favorites now. I like the Bears in this one. Money line. After getting their teeth kicked in. Again, you can't say it's a rebuilding year in year 4. I just think Ben Johnson is going to come guns a-blazing. I don't think the Bears are as bad as it looks, which is hard to say, but I think their offense is pretty good. And I just think at home it's a tough place to play, and I think they come out with the win.
I actually like the Bears as well, and here's why. When the Bears opened as a favorite against the Cowboys, who the Cowboys have looked pretty solid, the Bears have looked horrible. Winkleman and I, it's the rule we've always followed. When a line doesn't make sense, what do you do? Here's the other thing about the Bears. Maybe we all go in as a group on the Bears this weekend and we can kind of take a page from Dudley. When a team looks awful, but you believe in them like bias better CJ does, maybe you give them one final chance. Maybe we give them a chance to prove themselves this weekend. The other thing, I like the point CJ made. When grown men get absolutely embarrassed like the Bears did at the Lions, it was the former stomping grounds of their head coach. You got to believe they come out with a little fight. And if they don't, it's just like Dudley. Hey, we've got, 14 more weeks of this where we know the Bears absolutely suck and we can probably make some money off of them. So I like where your head's at on that one.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Do you believe that J.J. McCarthy's better than Dak Prescott?
No, J.J.
What
McCarthy.
kind of a question is that?
Oh,
It's not even on the same planet, bro.
There's at Soldier Field. And you guys are telling me that they're better than the Cowboys and the Cowboys are going to do that?
So you like
There's
the Cowboys.
different things. There's different things.
it's just not the same.
The math
just
ain't
thought you wanted.
mathin'.
I thought you wanted to talk JJ McCarthy again. That's why.
Once I heard JJ,
If
McCarthy,
we
like,
could
oh,
just
here
make
we
this
go.
a half-hour special on JJ McCarthy if we have to.
I could talk about that for a half hour, but I'm not going to.
Completely off the wall. But by the way, let's talk about, is JJ
Hey.
McCarthy or Dak Prescott?
I'm telling you, if
Who do you think's better?
back is
We're
Calvin
not
Johnson?
ESPN, Anna. We're not
I
Calvin
think
trying to
JJ
be
McCarthy's
different.
better.
Who do you think's better, Calvin Johnson
who
or
the
Adam
hell said
Thielen?
that? Shut up.
Wait. Who's a better dancer, Baron Davis or Tyrone Sprewell? Come on.
Ah,
If JJ can beat him, Dak sure as hell is gonna beat him.
all right.
That totally was an ESPN comment. They're talking about something and someone has to bring up Dak Prescott. Yours is JJ McCarthy in this instance. All right, we're jumping into the guy that I want to hear from. So here's why I want to hear from Bias Better Dudley this week. There is a huge game, 10 o'clock kickoff local time in Utah this weekend between Texas Tech and Utah. Big noon kickoff's going to be there. Barstool Sports is going to be there. I personally would not have given a crap about Utah or Texas Tech this year. I wouldn't even have known that they were good. Bias Better Dudley has me making money on Texas Tech every single week. I've been locked into these guys. I'm watching the talk shows today, specifically on Fox, and they're all of a sudden talking about this matchup because they have to. They have the game. It's big noon kickoff. It's the whole deal. They know nothing. Colin Cowherd knows nothing about Utah and Texas Tech. You know who does? Our own guy, Dudley. So, Dudley, I know you've got a few other picks on there, but I'm really looking forward to watching that game early on Saturday, and I want to know what you're looking at as far as your lines go. Rams AG, before Dudley jumps in, you got something?
This is 10 a.m. local Mountain West time, Mountain time, correct?
Mountain Standard Time.
All right.
They got to get those big hosses up early, get them a pregame meal before the 10 a.m. kick. What do you got, Dudley?
So yeah, I picked Texas Tech +4 in this game. I got on it right away Sunday morning. I don't know. So basically, Texas Tech has played the easiest schedule in the country right now, ranked 135 out of 135. Utah's played the 120th ranked schedule in the country. So I mean, they beat up on horrible teams. Both teams have. I think it's all going to come down to how Texas Tech kind of tackles and stops the run game. They make Dampier kind of throw the ball a little bit. They should be able to kind of pretty much shut down Utah's offense pretty good. This kind of all goes to Cody Campbell for me. I know none of you guys know who Cody Campbell is. Cody Campbell is the head, basically the head collective guy for Texas Tech. Sold his oil company, has an absurd amount of money, and his cash into absolutely everything. Softball, he got the right people. They made a national championship. Basketball, they choked, should have won a national championship. I think he has the right guys lined up for football. It's all really going to come down to if all this money and then kept a absolute lame duck quarterback at quarterback, and if they can kind of win with Baron Martin, or if he's going to be a big issue. So yeah, I'm taking Texas Tech +4. I just think it'll be a pretty close game. Good Lord willing, Texas Tech covers. It would kind of get a little hot to start out. The other games that I picked, I have Kansas -11.5 against West Virginia. West Virginia should have lost that Pitt game by about 10. They're riding sky high right now. Kansas is going to be coming off of a bye. I think Kansas should probably pummel West Virginia pretty good here. And then I also have Oklahoma -4.5 against Auburn. As long as they can just somewhat shut down Auburn running the football, Jackson Arnold's going to look like trash, and Oklahoma should be able to kind of run away with that one, pretty similar to how they did that Michigan game. One stat on the Utah game. So Utah's quarterback led all of Division I last year in yards per carry, at 8 yards per carry. The guys are running back playing quarterback. I think they'll be fine. It's going to be a sleepy 10 o'clock kickoff. Everybody keeps talking about how cool Rice Eccles is. They haven't won a single Big 12 game at Rice Eccles before. They've never beaten Texas Tech before. They're 0-2. I think Texas Tech probably gets that win in Utah.
So, a couple notes on that. how long has the Texas Tech quarterback been there? He's like a 4th or 5th year guy, and you think he's a lame duck.
2.5. He's not. He's going to be the reason that they lose at some point. Is because they spent all this money everywhere else, but they did not spend at quarterback.
Is Cam Rising starting at Utah?
Cam Rising, I believe, is in a senior living home in Salt Lake City now.
One more nugget, if you believe in superstition. All right. Hannah and I are visiting family in Minnesota this week, so we come to you live from Minnesota. Set up a tea time this afternoon. I go golfing. One of the 3 guys that shows up to play in my foursome is literally wearing a Texas Tech polo. I don't know why, but just because Dudley says it and that guy showed up wearing a shirt, I'm betting Texas Tech. I like the. Is it still +4 though, or is that line coming down?
It's down to +3 now.
Yeah.
The Sharks got on it pretty early.
Yeah, I like all your points, and probably the underdogs to play on that one. All right, thank you, Dudley. Moving on to the pile of the group, we're going to move to Bias Better CJ. Bias Better CJ, I literally make his slide every week. I don't know what he's betting. Luckily, a lot of his teams are on bye, so I didn't have as much typing. I think you like Michigan State to cover, and I think you like Oregon to cover, but I could be completely wrong. Take us through your lines and what you're looking at here, CJ.
Like Paul said, I don't get cold. I don't know why I was in the cold bettors there. But I like Michigan State at USC. Something about those former Pac-12 teams. Seems like nobody shows up in their stadiums. Like USC, maybe USC's a little better, but UCLA. Well, there's one more, but they late night games. I just feel like they just get their teeth kicked in. So that's just a field game.
Stanford got their teeth kicked in this week.
Yes, yeah. Well, and also remember who Michigan State took to double overtime and won.
True.
Bill O'Brien, one of the best coaches in college football there. So just remember, they're capable of beating very good teams. So I'm going to do Michigan State there. Oregon State's horrible. In-state rivals at home. My guess is Dan Lanning's going to get pissed off some way and just keep the starters in all 4 quarters. So I'm going to go Oregon, 34.5. By the way, my records last week got screwed by an 80-yard Northwestern run. Fuck that guy for running that in. And
it's just a college kid on a scholarship. Leave it alone.
Give him back, America.
But those are the ones I like. Bears, Cowboys, like Bears, and Broncos, Chargers. As long as Madison Beer's still dating Herbert, I'm gonna go Chargers.
So, do you think Oregon looks ahead at all? Because they have Penn State next week. I mean, obviously this is a rivalry game. I doubt they're looking ahead, but that'd be the only thing I worry about, that big of a spread with them having a huge game next week.
I just think the stadium is going to be packed, and there's no way with an atmosphere like that you're just going to try and walk through a game. If it was at Oregon State and you're kind of humming it, they're horrible, then maybe. But no, I think they're fine.
Even if they had J.J. McCarthy at quarterback, I think they could still win that game by a lot.
Dudley, who did Oregon State play recently? And you said Oregon State's terrible, and the
Texas Tech.
Yeah, Texas Tech.
Yeah,
easily.
Texas Tech.
They were up 45-0 and then gave up 2 garbage time touchdowns.
Yeah. All right, moving ahead. Bias Better PGZ. I noticed this happened a few times to us this week. So Dudley had 2 of his teams matching up in Utah and Texas Tech. I've got 2 of my teams matching up in Michigan and Nebraska. I know Bias Better HJ has a couple of her teams matching up in London on the NFL side. You see my games there. You see the lines. You can see my picks. I have my 3 picks that I like right now in kind of order of how I like them. Monday Night Football, Lions at Ravens. I almost made that the matchup of the week, but Double G and I went at it last week on matchup of the week, and Eagles easily covered. I told you they would. I really like the Ravens -5. It's a home game. It's Monday Night Football. The Lions just absolutely boat raced the Bears, but Lamar Jackson going against NFC teams is almost a guarantee you need to bet Lamar Jackson. The NFC teams just don't see him enough. They don't have anyone on their scout team. I sound like Colin Cowherd right now, but I just really like the Ravens -5 in that game. I'm going to lean on Rams Ag a little bit. So here was my thinking, Rams Ag. The Eagles have been skating by. I don't think they played great against Dallas. They did not cover. I don't think they played great against the Chiefs. I just don't think the Chiefs are that great of a team anymore.
The Eagles, didn't Jalen Hurts only have 100 yards
He
against
didn't.
the Chiefs?
They didn't even have 100 yards passing. They're actually the Eagles of the NFL are the new Iowa. They are now 3-0 in the last couple of seasons when they have under 100 yards passing, which is just unheard of. Here's what I'm thinking. Dudley and Rams AG, I want you to jump in on this. The Rams in the snow last postseason definitely gave the Eagles their closest game. Probably should have won that game. The weather's going to be fine in Philadelphia. I feel like the Eagles aren't playing that well. I definitely like the points going to the Rams. Dudley, what do you say? And then I'm going to jump to Rams AG.
I mean, I never like to bet on the Rams to win in Philadelphia. And two, I wouldn't quite compare them to Iowa. The Eagles do win games, so
Yeah,
we kind of have to think about that.
That's fair. Rams Ag, where are you leaning on that
Hurtful,
one?
hurtful, but truthful.
I'm glad we spent about 5 minutes on the Cowboys versus the Bears when we could have talked about the Rams Eagles, but the Rams, the defense.
Do you not care about our following? Monty,
I really don't.
Every week.
I really don't. I don't. We could have given them the pick then.
Iowa.
We're talking about JJ McCarthy.
Hell, if JJ McCarthy was the quarterback for the Eagles, I would take the Rams. Is that what I'm supposed to say here, Hannah?
Is that what you want to hear?
Anyways, if I was to bet on this game, which I will say later, I would take Jalen Hurts passing yards over, and because the Rams, they've gotten a lot better in run defense, defensive lines better. I still would take the Eagles to win, but I'm not going to bet on it. So
to cover or to win?
To win. I just said that.
CJ, you're my Big Ten guy. Do you like my Nebraska +2.5 hosting Michigan? Michigan's got a freshman back. They're going on the road. They don't have their head coach again. Nebraska's actually looking sneaky good. I'm going to take the home dog here and take the points. What do you think, CJ?
I would take Michigan.
Are you
having the coach?
Underwood looks way better than a freshman, and I will never in my life bet Nebraska to win a game against a good Big Ten opponent.
Is Michigan good, though?
I think
goddamn right, Wink.
I think, to Dudley's point, he's betting on the Michigan brand. He's not betting on the team that they're putting on the field.
Jim Harbaugh ain't walking out of that tunnel.
Yeah, neither is Tom Osborne. So you bet on Michigan.
This is true. Which is to our next question: is Dylan Raiola better than Patrick Mahomes?
Bold.
All right, Double G, what do you got for us?
Geez, a lot going on here.
Yeah, I'll keep it short and sweet. Not a great week last week, but we're still up a few units.
Come on.
I got the Chiefs -6, 2 units, and I'm going Packers -7.5 at the Browns. Double G TD parlay. We got Josh Allen and JJ getting back in it +273. Double your pleasure, double your fun.
Love the Packers to bury the Browns. Bury the Browns.
You think the Packers bury the Browns?
No, that feels like a close game for some reason. Also, you have the Chiefs going into the leading NFL passer.
I've learned a couple things over my years, Wink. If the Arizona Gallaghers have a bet they like, you go against that bet and you watch the money come in. All right. I wish I would have seen Paul's bets earlier, to be honest with you, because Lions Ravens would have been on my slate.
I love the Ravens -5 this week. Yeah, kind of a bummer tomorrow night's game. Dolphins at Bills. That could just be
Josh Allen just works the Dolphins every time he plays them.
Mike McDaniel may have to take his own jet home. He may not.
Hey, let's get to two of our other guys before we run out of time here, huh?
All right, going
Other
to Bias
gals.
Better 8. Yeah, let's get to the two gals here at the end. Bias Better HJ and Ram Zag. Bias Better HJ, we'll start with you. What do you got?
All I know is I'm just hoping and praying my college bets get better. But like Grady said, my NFL bets have not been that bad.
R.I.P.
4-2.
Your bets have been significantly better than
Fade
JJ.
the college, tail the NFL.
Yes. So I think it's going to be a lot of points this weekend. AG, you're on the 49ers too, aren't you? What do you think of the points? I think the over in that game, 43.5. I think Arizona's been scoring in the 20s most weeks, and their offense looks pretty solid. I haven't been watching the 49ers really at all. So.
Well, okay, yeah. Yep. I'll probably take the 49ers. I think they're much better than the Cardinals, but I like the over as well.
And then Arizona State Baylor, that'll be a pretty good game. I know the over is pretty big, but ASU scores a lot, and so does Baylor, and they're both pretty turnover prone. So I think the defenses will score some touchdowns as well. And then Tampa Bay -5.5 against the Jets. I got that line before they announced that the quarterback is out for the Jets. So I don't even know who the backup would be.
Might be a good thing for the Jets.
Justin Fields, who's their backup?
Oh, JJ McCarthy?
Yeah, I saw that coming.
And ride Tampa by 15.
It was a little bit of a quarterback competition, I remember.
Hannah, the day you don't bet the Bucks to cover is going to be a weird day.
No, I haven't bet their cover. I've only been betting their over.
Hey.
Oh no, I did take their
money line. You've bet the money line twice in a row.
Good team. They've won 2 tough games against good opponents on the road.
Money line last week was plus odds for me on that.
So
good bet.
For those of us listening that like parlays, I'm thinking of Mr. Jake Mize. Right now, I've seen Josh Allen anytime TD, Justin Jefferson anytime TD, and now a lean from HJ, Marvin Harrison Jr.
I was just looking at how much San Francisco's let wide receivers score this season already. So
Tyrod Taylor is the QB you're betting on here. Tyrod.
Oh, wow.
Tyrod Taylor is their backup?
Yeah. 5.5 hammer. Baker is a dog.
Oh, we got to watch Tyrod Taylor and Carson Wentz this weekend if you're an NFL fan. That's
also
tough.
Future bet.
Jake Browning.
Baker Mayfield MVP. Take it now.
Oh.
Mark my words.
Jesus, Martha.
He's a poor man's JJ McCarthy. What are we talking about?
Cowherd compared those two, and I was like, yeah, fucking right.
I thought we were trying to bury him.
I saw something just real quick. Vikings. What is it? Wentz versus who was the other quarterback that he's playing?
Darnold?
Browning. They said someone move this to 3 a.m. slate.
Literally.
It is. I mean, it's in London, so it's going to be sip on your coffee and watch some terrible football with backup quarterbacks. I mean, Carson Wentz is terrible. What's that line? You've got to go Bengals. Browning's at least competent.
I think our defense is going to be able to cause some
Yeah,
problems.
that's true. All right, Ramzag, what do you got for us, sir? Just coming off a horrible week. We all stayed up late watching Boston College, and they just got waxed.
That's definitely not a overseas game.
Yeah, it's definitely not an overseas
I mean,
game.
I don't know what you're talking about, but
The
wild behavior.
Is it really not? Is the Bengals?
No, it's week
Minnesota.
3.
Are we
the London of the Midwest?
Dudley, we need you to fact check that. Is the Bengals Vikings game?
It's not.
No,
I'm
it's
looking at
in
it right now.
Minneapolis.
That's
Wild
wild
US
behavior.
Bank.
I mean, you are just
20% ownership.
This guy doesn't know anything.
we
Howard knows
don't
where the
need
games are
ownership
at.
numbers thrown out here, BB gun.
I'm just saying with it. There's
If
nothing
we're
behind
going
it.
to get into who's not putting in the work, that's not even one of my games. Look at AG's slide here. He has picks, and it just says under 45, over 52.
Let the guy
You
pick.
should know.
Let the
You
guy
should
pick.
know. Damn it.
Let the guy pick.
Are you gonna pick over in an Iowa
I'm
game?
looking at my
52.
I'm looking at my sports book. I can't find just under 42 or 45 and a half.
Nice
Well,
and
just
under
pick it
45 results.
Anyways,
No,
Iowa under 45 and a half.
That's a
pretty
Friday
good.
night game, by the way. Everybody tune in. Iowa at Rutgers. What else would you want to be doing on a Friday
yeah,
night?
why does it say Saturday then?
Because the guy's just he's fallen into the
He's
Winkleman
cold.
syndrome. He's not putting in the work.
I was hoping to watch McCarthy film tomorrow night. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was doing work for the community. I'm sorry I couldn't get to this today.
So yes, okay. Now that we know you, we've been following you. You are hammer the under in the Iowa game, hammer the over in the Washington game. What do you like in the NFL?
The NFL, I like the Texans. At some point, they just have to become so not undisciplined. They're plus 1.5. I mean, they have guys like in Palestine out there. I mean, so forth. But
oh, jeez.
It's just not. It's not great. I hope they can figure it out.
Are you talking about the linebacker?
Yes, I'm talking about the linebacker, and I like that game to go over as well. Like the over in bombs.
Also, real quick, Washington State, they got a 3-quarterback battle week 3, and they all fucking they all suck.
Dib them back, America.
I have. Well,
also, I have a underdog of the week. The Jets +7. I just bet them on DraftKings. No way the Buccaneers can cover this 7.
Baker likes the drama.
It was 5.5.
Yes.
I got it at 5.5.
I know, but now it's +7, so I'm doing it +7.
They just got the breaking news
not going
from
the
us
right way,
that Tyrod Taylor.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's not going the right way.
Will Hannah ever bet on the Buccaneers not to cover BB Gun?
Yeah, we just learned that Justin Fields was out and it only moved to 1.5, so I think I'm on the right side of that movement.
I agree with that. Tyrod Taylor's better than Justin Fields.
Someone
Tyrod Taylor better than JJ McCarthy.
10.5. We're in a Nazi state for gambling this weekend.
Yeah, it is. I was absolutely slanging them before the plane took off. So I've got some bets in there. I couldn't tell all you guys this. I'll find a way to get a bookie in a state where it's legal and get on some of these bets. If you're still listening, we thank you for your service. We want to give a shout out to all of you. Who's your guy on XAG? Who's the guy that's just Charlie Parker? He's just
Charlie
Parker.
My boy Charlie Park.
Charlie
He's
Park.
locked in.
Lock in, Charlie.
Colt Hoosiers commenting on my picks on Indiana. I gotta ride them, I guess, more Indiana.
We're starting to gain some traction. We're gonna week just like we did a couple weeks ago. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you everyone for following the Bias Bettors. More to come next week. We appreciate all of you. Thank you so much.